from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
We begin tonight with a Valley News Live exclusive interview. A Becker County deputy reacts in the nick of time as a car comes barreling toward him during a traffic stop. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Mike has the evening off. Deputy Cody Boucher spoke exclusively with Valley News team's Natalie Parsons about what was going through his head during the traffic stop that was like no other.
It started out as any other traffic stop along Highway 59 near Westbury, Minnesota, until an out-of-control vehicle was heading in Deputy Cody Boucher's direction. And there was one thing on his mind.
An avenue to escape, to get out of the way.
In an instant, the Becker County deputy had to react.
Shut your door, shut your door. Got out of the way and had that driver shut the door so there didn't get any damage there. Wouldn't have pushed the vehicle that I stopped into me or anything like that.
Boucher believes the icy roads played a huge role, and it's important to slow down in these conditions.
Slow down. If it's icy, take extra time because it doesn't get you there any quicker, even when it's dry roads.
Area officers agree, saying they deal with dangerous traffic stops all the time.
All officers have experienced similar dangerous type situations. It's something that you get trained on from the very beginning to be aware of, and you realize quite quickly that this does happen.
Traffic stops are an everyday occurrence, and law enforcement says that there's things that you can do to make them safer.
We always appreciate the people that comply with the law to move to the left when they see a traffic stop. You know, these are people that are obviously paying attention to the roadway and giving that safety.
Tonight, Deputy Cody Boucher can sure be thankful for one thing.
By the grace of God, I got out of the way.
Natalie Parsons, Valley News Live.
Deputy Cody Boucher reminds people that distracted driving is dangerous and to stop texting and using your phone while driving. The FBI says the death of Amanda Engst appears to be a homicide. Engst's body was found in the Cheyenne River near Warwick, North Dakota last month. FBI spokesman Kyle Lovin declined to comment on the exact cause of death. Amanda Engst had been living near Warwick when she disappeared, and her car was used in a robbery spree in the valley last fall. Billy and Crystal Herman are currently in jail on charges stemming from those robberies, but they were on the loose when Engst disappeared. Several agencies continue to investigate the case. No one has been charged in connection with Engst's death. On Saturday, a lot of people will be Irish for the day. If you're headed downtown to the St. Patrick's Parade, it starts at 1 in the afternoon. That's the same time the St. Patrick's Day pub crawl starts. There were some issues reported last year to our whistleblower hotline and parade organizers, including about partiers who were foul-mouthed, belligerent, and drunk. That's why parade organizers held a meeting with the city, police and fire departments, and the participating bars about this year's event. Both the bars and organizers say simply be respectful and responsible.
You can't go out on the streets drinking. It's not like we're in New Orleans at Mardi Gras or anything, so.
We have posted more information about this weekend's events on our website. Go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. Anytime we share a story about a reported crime, we get a lot of feedback from our viewers. Earlier this week, when we posted the story about the stabbing that took place at an apartment complex on Broadway in downtown Fargo, many of you chimed in, upset about the perceived increase of crime in our city, specifically downtown. So Valley News team's Cornelius Hawker went to Broadway, where people told him how they feel about downtown Fargo.
Downtown Fargo. Some people would argue it's the best part about the city. But there are others who would say they wouldn't be caught dead there for anything because they don't consider it safe. A quick look online shows that since the beginning of March, Fargo police have been dispatched to North Broadway a total of 57 times. With more than 30 of those calls happening within the 8-block radius most people consider downtown. We went to Broadway and asked people, do you feel safe downtown?
Yeah, for the most part. I'm never really, during the day, sometimes, I'm usually down here by myself, but, in the evenings when I'm with a group of friends, and, yeah, it's generally not too bad. It's well lit, which helps a lot.
There's not a lot of you don't see a lot of crime or people doing bad things, and it's really calm and chill.
It feels pretty nice, especially since I come from California, and an area where I live there's always crime every single day, and here you rarely hear anything or see anything on the news about anything like that.
A trend started to emerge, so we asked a few more people who looked like they might have a different perspective on the question.
I've had instances downtown that aren't always safe, but they're the same instances I've experienced in a grocery store parking lot or anywhere else in town. It's not downtown specific.
I know a lot of people around here, so, it's kind of like, if you're a friend of one friend, then you're a friend of their friend.
Of course, this is a small sampling of the many people who call the FM area home, so we might have gotten different answers on a different day. But for all those people who have to muster up the courage to take a stroll downtown, you can do what this lady does if something or someone is making you uncomfortable.
If I see something I don't like, I do cross the street. That's just how my mom raised me. If you see something you don't like, don't keep going towards it. You cross the street.
Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
If you're curious about the number of times police are dispatched to your neighborhood, you can find a link to the dispatch logs on valleynewslive.com. Just look for this story. Hundreds of Air Force base locations nationwide are being examined to determine whether or not chemicals from foam used to fight fires have contaminated groundwater and spread to drinking water. The checks are planned for sites where the military conducted fire or crash training. Among the locations being investigated in North Dakota, Hector International Airport, Grand Forks Air Force Base, the Cavalier Air Force Station, and the Minot Air Force Base. In Minnesota, Duluth International Airport. The chemicals they're concerned about in the drinking water, perfluorinated chemicals, could be linked to prostate, kidney, and testicular cancer, along with other health issues. Since December, they have tested 28 naval sites in mostly coastal areas. In some cases, the Navy is giving bottled water to base personnel and is testing wells in rural areas nearby. Today, anti-gun violence supporters and gun owners gathered at the state capitol to talk about Minnesota's gun laws. Two state senators unveiled a new gun safety bill that would require criminal background checks on all gun sales, including guns purchased online and at gun shows. Anti-gun violence groups like Protect Minnesota and Minnesota Moms Demand have pledged their support to the bill. It's being described as Yelp for humans. A new app called People allows you to rate coworkers, neighbors, landlords, even people you have dated. Back in October, people were outraged at the idea, saying it could ruin their lives. This week, the app was launched, but with some changes. People developers say you have to approve everything that's posted about you.
You read the terms and services, they basically own everything that goes into the app, which means you don't get a say on what happens after that. So it just feels a little dangerous to me.
Currently, if someone reviews you on the app, you have the ability to hide that. But Burgess says it sounds like there's a new feature coming soon where if you pay, you can see all reviews, even hidden ones.